Um, hey guys, this is my week 3 reflection video on the Peaceful Warrior immersion. This week we were just doing what we have been doing ever since the immersion started, and there were some couple uh things that we have talked about in the class, and I thought they were really interesting. And I think on last Wednesday we talked about like when Buddha was meditating under the Bodhi tree, and all those egos just they just come up in his mind and trying to distract him from the meditation. And what Mr. McGlone said, that I think that like what he said really cool was all those egos or your left brain ideas, when they're trying to distract you from your meditation or your right brain world, they are basically convincing you from the voice of yourself, because no one would ever convince someone unless someone is convincing them in the voice of themselves, because you know the best about yourself. And I thought like, wow, that idea was just so cool, because think about like when you are convincing someone, you are not just listing on all the like evidence and ideas to support your argument. No, you are actually trying to make that person convince himself to believe whatever you say that might be true or might be not. And I think it's just a very interesting idea that I have never thought about. It's like when your ego is distracting you, it's basically using the best way to distract you, and which is your own voice, because you cannot, like most of the time people are not able to say no to their to the voice that's gonna convince them, because they know they are gonna be convinced somehow. And another idea that we have talked about was the how we gonna choose our wife wisely in the future. And I think that's something that's very interesting, because what I would be think about, like I would just gonna go marry someone that's not my parent arranged for me, and I think it will be fine. Just live for that, because I'm not gonna pay too much attention to my marriage or to my I'm definitely like, I think gonna focus on my career and my business, but I'm not gonna care about too much about my marriage. So that was something that I never thought about. But Mr. Squires talked to us like, he said we have to choose our partner wisely, because you are not just marrying someone who is doing all the houseworks, or like you are actually finding someone that you can share your ideas with, and you are actually finding someone who is gonna be with you like whenever you need her. And I think that's like, well, that's something that I never thought about, because I thought it's just like marry someone, it's just like you go up there, you pick a one, and you just marry her, and that's it. And also what I thought really cool about this week was when we were doing the meditation one day. I think that was the last Thursday, where Mr. Squires told us to kind of just take a flight in our mind when we were doing the meditation. He said, like, just take a flight, just imagine that you are a bird and you are flying everywhere to the world. So, and after the meditation, when we were doing the reflection on that, when we were discussing like where we have been to, when we were taking that flight in the meditation, he said we were basically expanding the here. Let me draw this for you really quick. Uh, okay, yep. If you can see that this is a box the circle basically it represent our mind, and this circle here it basically represent our ego, the little I, like I think, I feel, I blah 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 blah, like that. And when we were doing the flight thing in the meditation, Mr. Squire said we were basically expanding the upper part of that ego. And on the Friday, he said he wanted us to kind of just explore what's under that box, like trying to explore the bottom part about this box, trying to just expand it. And I found like, like what I would thought about, like, and I also talked about this in the class was just like we always saying like, oh, when we do something, we're gonna just like kind of just like soften the edge, the boundary of our ego, or like we're just gonna like break our ego. Because I was thinking about if we are doing something like that, if we're experiencing like if we're experiencing more more activities, like more fun stuff in our lives, we're actually not like really just like softening the edge or the boundaries of our ego box. I think we're basically just expanding it, you know, until one day that the when the entire ego box just take up the entire mind of ourselves. And then that's where I think we are actually heading to. Because like when your ego box is so big, it's enormous, you will not be able to tell if you are inside the ego or outside the ego, if you are influenced by ego or if you are not influenced by ego. So I think that's just something that really powerful, influential for me from the week 3. And I mean, there's only 1 week left, and so far I really like this immersion so far because it gives me a lot of insights and some life lessons that I would have to like spend more time to learn otherwise in my life. I mean, yeah. So there's only 1 week left. Thank you.